the most important project you will have in this class. That is your educational plan project. You cannot pass this class if you do not complete this educational plan project. So let's go. The first thing you want to do is you want to download two of the files, the LBCC EdPlan Master and the EdPlan Master course mapping. I will have both the PDFs available for these two worksheets, but I do recommend that you do the Excel sheet and not the PDF. You can do the PDF, you'll just need to print it out and fill it out by hand and then upload it, and it's much easier to do it on Excel because it does all the math for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do, click on the EdPlan Master and this is what you will see. Okay, I've already started to fill some of it out, but we'll go through it piece by piece to make sure that you know exactly what to do. You're going to fill out your student ID, name, date, and major. ID, name, date, major. Okay, for the sake of this exercise, you're going to put 2020, 2021 for the catalog year. Unless you know your catalog year, make sure you really know what it is. But we didn't go over it because we didn't have time. So we're just going to put the 2021. And then you're just going to use the general education patterns and the course catalog for 2020, 2021, okay? If your plan is to transfer, you need to choose at least one school, and you need to put it here in the transfer box. So I put Cal State Long Beach. If you don't plan a transfer, all you would do is put NA, okay? But I'm gonna pretend like I want to transfer, so I'm gonna put CSULB. And then you're gonna check off everything that applies to you. It's a simple click of the button. That's why I would rather you use this Excel sheet. So in this case, I'm gonna transfer and I'm gonna do an ADT. Once you've filled out this top part, based on your goal and based on your major, you're gonna choose a general education course, a general education pattern, okay? I have listed the link for the general education patterns and then plan A, plan B, and plan C. I am gonna go ahead and use plan C as a demonstration, so I'm going to highlight that. You do not have to highlight it, I'm just doing that for the sake of this demonstration. And then you're gonna start filling out your general education based on the areas. So the plan states you're going to choose courses from each area and write out the course name and number, and then put in the amount of units in either UC, UIP, or UN columns, depending on whether the units have been completed, are in progress, or are still needed. Okay, so for example, English 1. Well, I already wrote that in, but English 1, okay? And then I'm going to put a 3 here or a 4 here. If I haven't taken it yet and I still need it, I would put a 4 here if it's in progress. In other words, I'm taking it this semester. Or if I've already taken the class in previous semesters, I would put it here. If you took your AP English class, you would put AP English, and then you would put, for the sake of this assignment, just put 3, okay? For all APs, just put 3 for the sake of this assignment, because we didn't get into that in detail. But if you're taking the course, you're gonna put the course name, the number, and the amount of units. If you've completed it, it needs to go in this column. If it's in progress, meaning you're taking it this semester, you put it in this column. And then for units needed, you're gonna put it in this column, okay? So how do I know how many units it is? Well, in the home page of our Counseling 1 course, you can click on course readings to be sent to the college catalog. The college catalog, let's see if I have that up. Yes, I do. The college catalog, if you scroll down to the bottom, has all of the courses that Long Beach City College offers. So let's go down to E for English. I'm sure there's a faster way to do this, but I'm not going to. You know, you can click Control F and then search for English, but I'm already scrolling. Here we go. English 1, 4 units. So let's pretend I haven't taken it yet. I'm going to put it there. Okay. So then you're just going to do that. So I'm going to go next to 1B. Go to my plan C. What options do I have? I have English 3, 4, or History 47. Let's say I wanted to do English 4. Okay. I'm going to go to the catalog. Oops. I'm going to go to the catalog and I'm going to check how many units is English 4. It's 4 units. So I am going to click 4. Now, every time you put in a number here, the totals change. Okay? They change there and they change here in this box. Okay? So I'm going to remove this. So let's say I am taking COM 30 this semester. I'm going to check to see how many units it is. If you already know, you can do that as well. Okay, COM 30. Here we go. Oops. Let's scroll up. COM 30. It is transferable to the UC or the CSU, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. And I am taking it this semester, so I'm going to put it under units in progress. Here you go. And then let's say I took stats 1 last semester, so I'm going to go ahead and put 4 there. Okay, so now if you look, the totals are being computed so that at the end in this yellow box, I can check and make sure that it's at least 60 units, okay? So you're going to continue this with your general education, and then you are also going to do this with your major prep. Now, for major requirements, and I have this listed in the plan, after you're done with your general education, you're going to fill out your major requirements by choosing a curriculum guide, and I have the link to the curriculum guides here, okay? Oops, to the curriculum guides. And you're going to go to assist.org if you are transferring. If you're not transferring, you obviously don't have to do this step. You're going to go to assist.org and you're going to find your major prep by searching for your individual school's requirement. Now, not every person needs to do an associate's degree for transfer if they are transferring. However, if you're going to a Cal State, that is the best place to start. That's a big hint. If you're going to a Cal State, if I were you, I would do the associate's degree for transfer if that's your major, if your major has one. So history is an example of a major that has one. So under the curriculum guides, I'm going to choose history, and this is going to pop up. So now I have all of the courses that I can add into my major prep. So I just start. History 10, 3 units because I haven't taken it yet. Let's say history 11, I've already taken it, so I'm going to put units completed. 3 units. The nice thing here is on the curriculum guide, it tells you how many units. And then you're going to choose 2 from this list. So I'm going to go ahead and choose 2. Let's say I do history 1B and history 2B. Okay, and each is 3 units. So I'm going to go ahead and put 3, 3, and you're going to do this for this whole list. Okay, so at the end, it's going to tell you how many units you've completed, how many units are in progress, and how many units are needed for your major requirements. And then you're going to do the same for your general education. But sometimes, for example, like in your history class or your history major, history 10 and 11 are also general education requirements. So I don't want to take more classes than I need. So I'm going to go ahead and put history 10 and history 11 here because I know that they meet the humanities requirements for the UCs, okay? I happen to know this by heart because I'm a counselor, but you would figure this out when you're looking at the general education. See, for humanities, you see that all these history classes overlap. The thing is, if you're putting the numbers here and then you put the numbers of units here, it's going to double count and it's going to throw your counter off. So don't do that. The way to avoid that is instead of putting a number here, just put an X if it double counts, okay? That way, X. So that way it doesn't double count, see? So now you're still counting the units, but you're just not counting them in both places, so you can replace it with an X. That's a little hack, okay? Because you want to make sure that this unit counter is accurate. Now notice on this plan sheet, so you don't want to do this too, see this is an error because you don't want it to be inaccurate. Political science is 1 unit, so you're going to put that there. Okay. So notice down here, COM 10H is under non-transferable units. But you're like, wait, I thought I saw COM 10 here. Well, this is why you need to keep checking all of your courses under the catalog, because look at the catalog for communication studies. COM 10 is transferable to the UC or the CSU. But COM 10 Honors is only transferable to the CSU. So if I were going to Cal State Long Beach, this is an error. It shouldn't be here, okay? It can be in the electives. But if I wanted to go to UCI, I would get docked points if I put COM 10H there, because that is not, COM 10 Honors does not fulfill the general education requirement. Only the regular course of Communications 10 does. So you always want to check the catalog. Make sure you check the catalog to see if it's transferable or not, okay? Because some courses are only transferable to the CSUs, but some of them are transferable to the UC and the CSU. So just keep that in mind and keep checking, okay? So I'm not going to do this whole plan just in case any of you guys are in history, but essentially what you're going to do is you're going to fill out all of your general education, every single bit. Now, for language other than English, for IGETC, if you took a foreign language in high school, if you took a foreign language at least 2 years, you just put that 2 years of high school, and you can put Spanish, and you don't need to put anything in the units because you don't get units for that, but you get credit for this language other than English. If that doesn't apply to you, if you did not take 2 years of a language, leave this blank because you can still technically transfer without completing this language other than English requirement. Your counselor will go over your options for that, okay? But whatever general education pattern you choose, you need to complete it in its entirety. To get full credit, one more time, I need all of your major requirements listed, and I need all of your general education for at least for 1 general education course pattern. Don't do all 3. You don't need to do all 3. You just need 1 for the degree and 1 for transfer. Okay? Now, there's these little boxes here. Those are just opportunities for you to label. So this is for the associate's degree for transfer in history, and then you're going to list all the courses, right? But let's say CSULB has a specific course. Let's say they want you to take Sociology 1. It's kind of random, but maybe Cal State Long Beach has a random course that they want you to take. The way you find that out is we're going to go to Assist. And you're going to watch that tutorial video in Module 4. On this last module, we took Module 6 on how to use assist.org. I'm not going to go over that now because this is taking too long to load. But watch the tutorial to know how to pull up major prep for the school that you want to transfer to. Okay, so you can label it to make sure that you have all of the requirements. Now, to get full credit, you need to put all the major requirements for at least 1 school, or if you're not getting a degree, if you're not transferring, then you need to put all of the courses you need for the certificate, the AA degree, or the AS degree. You need all the major requirements and all of the general education attached to that educational goal, okay? Now, you need to make sure that this says 60 or more. If it does not, then your educational plan is incorrect, okay? Now, an elective is anything that isn't a general education course and that isn't a major requirement. So if it's not a major requirement and it's not a general education course and it's transferable, you're going to put it as an elective. So counseling 1 is transferable. You're taking it now, so we're going to put 1 there, and now it adds it to the units in progress totals. Communications 10H, and is an example of a non-transferable course for the UCs. So we don't want it added to this number because it's not transferable. That is how you complete this plan. This column here is optional. You do not need to label it. That's just for your own organization. But what is not optional is you need to list all of the courses for your major. You need to put the units, whether they're completed, in progress, or needed. And the same for your general education. You need to fill out all of the general education courses and whether those courses are completed, in progress, or needed. And if it doesn't add 60, you need to add some electives. Add any random class that's transferable or degree applicable according to your liking. And as long as this says 60 or more, you should be okay. But again, this needs to be accurate. If you have any questions, please let me know. Sorry, I'm not sure why it's zooming in so far. I highly recommend getting started now and turning it in early so that I can review it and give it back to you just in case there's any errors, because this is the biggest impact in your grade here. And it is your comprehensive final exam. This is it. It encompasses all of the information that we went over in class, but I want to help you and I want your plan to be the best possible plan for you. So just reach out for help, and I'm here to support you along the way.